Listen to any discussion about the many challenges facing our fragile planet. You'll often hear the sentiment, there's no magic solution. But what if that's not true? What if there is one single superhero solution to the many environmental challenges in front of us? I think there is. So meet the environmental superhero with the power to transform our planet. Kelp. Kelp's superhero potential is limitless. To begin with, kelp is not just sustainable, it's regenerative. That means simply planting kelp in our oceans helps to improve ocean and environmental health. On top of that, kelp is a versatile, nutrient-packed, regenerative natural resource. It is full of powerful bioactive compounds. So besides being a nutritious food, kelp is ideal for lots of other uses. For example, kelp could be your next favorite skin cream. Kelp could be your next health supplement. Kelp could even fuel your car or your next vacation flight. Kelp could replace the plastic packaging at your favorite takeout place. And on top of all of that, kelp farming can help our working waterfront communities by providing a viable alternative to commercial fishing. That's particularly important here in New England, where the Gulf of Maine has been identified as one of the fastest warming ocean regions on the planet. Lobsters, for example, are expected to eventually migrate north to cooler water, which would drastically impact our fishery. So how can kelp help? By providing opportunity with high-value uses beyond the dinner plate, we create new market demand, and that creates opportunity for jobs, diversifying income, and building resiliency in the face of climate change. So for all of these reasons, maybe kelp's greatest superpower is that it gives hope. As a marine biologist, I've spent much of my career studying life under the sea, from captivating seahorses to large, dynamic ocean fish. And it wasn't until recently that I recognized kelp as the unsung hero of our planet. And that's what led me here, from research and teaching to something new, or new to the United States, that is. So in 2021, I started a kelp farm with my co-founder and friend, Krista Rosen. Here's a fun fact. Kelp is a seaweed, but not all seaweeds are kelp. There are thousands of species of red, green, and brown seaweeds that grow naturally all over the world. And some of these are harvested in the wild. But farming kelp is different. It's intentional. Instead of removing resources from our oceans, we're actually adding them. So to farm kelp, you take a spool of kelp seed, provided by a hatchery, and you wrap it on a rope suspended between two buoys about 6 feet under the ocean surface. Kelp is planted in the winter, and so about 6 months later, in the spring or early summer, actually right about now, it's ready for harvest. And the superhero transformation that takes place during that time is astounding. On our farm, we grow sugar kelp. So what starts as tiny seedlings at planting time, by harvest time, has grown into long, ruffled, beautiful, voluptuous blades, up to 15 feet long. And what do we do as kelp farmers to achieve this miraculous feat? We do nothing. That is part of kelp's superhero appeal. Because unlike terrestrial plants, kelp requires no inputs, no fertilizers, no pesticides, no land, no fresh water. And that's because kelp has evolved to thrive in harsh environmental conditions. This includes extreme fluctuations in ocean temperature, salinity, and harsh UV radiation. Kelp does this by producing powerful bioactive compounds that protect and support it as it grows. And we've learned that these compounds have similar effects and are extremely beneficial to human health. Take the polysaccharide fucoidin, for example, which is antioxidant, anti-cancer, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory. Add to that kelp's high levels of dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and you begin to see why it is such a natural resource powerhouse. Another superpower, kelp grows incredibly fast, faster than any plants on land. And that's because it's not encumbered by vascular systems like roots and branches and stems. Instead, it's just one super efficient photosynthesizer, absorbing carbon dioxide and producing biomass at a rapid rate. Because of its rapid growth rate, It's estimated to be 20 times more efficient at absorbing carbon dioxide than our forests on land. Kelp also helps to deacidify our oceans by absorbing carbon. It provides habitat for marine life, and it absorbs wave action to help safeguard our shorelines. Now, seaweed is not a new idea, and human civilizations have recognized the health and nutritional benefits of seaweed for thousands of years. Seaweed farming has been taking place in Asia for centuries, but all of this is still quite new to the United States, and 90 to 95% of the seaweed that we consume in this country is imported. By importing large amounts of untraceable seaweed from faraway countries, we are missing out on tremendous opportunity. After all, we have vast coastlines in this country and plenty of skilled watermen and women to work them. We have the technology and resources needed to figure out how to grow and process and find high-value uses for lots and lots of kelp. The reason that we don't comes down to a basic chicken or the egg problem. We don't know how big the US seaweed market can be until we actually start growing and processing and finding these high-value uses for lots and lots of kelp and other seaweeds. But few people want to risk investing in that process without knowing what kelp can actually do. The good news is that the tide is turning and we're starting to find out. In the last 5 years, both the supply of US farm seaweed and research into high-value non-food uses has grown sharply. And Maine is actually the leader and innovator in the industry. And in 2024, produced over 1 million pounds of kelp commercially. Our Maine-based company has received federal funding for R&D into green extraction technology. This maximizes those powerful bioactive compounds found in sugar kelp, ideal for skincare, pharmaceutical, and nutraceutical uses. We've also received federal funding for experimenting with growing new types of seaweed. And we've recently connected with researchers for examining uses of kelp as an aviation biofuel. Talk about opportunity. We're two women who founded a small startup because we believed in the power of kelp, and somehow we found ourselves on the forefront of the industry here in the United States. And, thank you. And while it's true that much of that funding is currently at risk, the reality is that innovators are doing incredible things with seaweed and other kelp and seaweeds all over the world, and kelp has so much potential. There are trailblazing companies in Europe that have created seaweed-based biomaterials for coatings and packagings and single-use plastic utensils replacements with the goal of ridding our planet of single-use plastics. That is superhero stuff. There are also innovators in New England that have created a seaweed-based biomaterial for the commercial fishing industry with the goal of ridding our ocean of the incredible amount of plastic pollution caused by commercial fishing gear. Our neighboring farm here in Kittery, Maine, is developing a kelp-based laundry pod. Kelp farming can do all of these things while leaving the faintest of footprints. It's been projected that all of the kelp farms needed to rid our planet of single-use plastics would take less than 1% of our oceans. Compare that to agriculture, which uses half of the world's habitable land. Continued research, innovation, and technology is going to lead us to discoveries in this industry that we can't even yet imagine. And unlike previous industrial revolutions, the kelp revolution can do all of this without harming our planet, but actually healing it. So let's figure out how to grow, process, and use lots more kelp. I can tell you that as a marine biologist and a kelp convert, it's an incredibly exciting time. I not only get to witness the transformative impact that kelp and seaweed farming will have in this planet and the world, I get to be a part of it. And I encourage you to be a part of it too. As the 2023 World Bank report on the global seaweed market put it, with its ability to sink carbon, sustain marine biodiversity, employ women, and create value chains, seaweed farming demonstrates how development, climate, and nature can work together to create value and uplift communities. And doesn't our country need more of that? Thank you. Thank you.